Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest and greatest episode of the YDN Cast. Don't call it a comeback. We've been here for years. I, of course, am Kyle Viveris, joined by Mr. Austin Bean.
Hey, what up?
And Mr. Nick Swank.
Hello.
As you know, it's been a little while since we've posted a new episode. I am the one to blame for that because I have been in a transitional period of moving into a new apartment and getting used to the flow of life in a new environment. But we are here, we're back, we're better than ever. And we're kind of wanting to try something new with the show. We have, this is, I guess, technically episode 9, 10? I'm not even quite sure at this point. I'm a bad producer and a bad host. We've been making a few episodes. We've made a few episodes of the YDN Cast, and it's been obviously very video game focused. And I don't think the video game focus will ever go away on the show. But we kind of realized that what we wanted to do was not necessarily just talking about video games, because we have a lot of interests that come out that are not just video game based. So basically, this is kind of the first episode of following our new format, a new-ish format, more or less. Basically, we kind of want to preserve the fun of what we do on the YDN Cast, but be able to talk about anything that is nerdy TM. We feel like this will... And the other thing about it is that we want to have more friendly discussions. Like, me, Swank, and Austin are all really good friends in real life. This isn't just something that we're like, yes, I want him because he's knowledgeable. No, we're all friends in real life. So
this wasn't like a game of kickball or anything. Like, we just kind of got together. We didn't pick teams.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we talk about the stuff because we enjoy talking about it.
Exactly. So, and we want you guys to not only enjoy the things that we're talking about, but I mean, you're listening to us for a reason. There are a lot of other podcasts that you could listen to. So we want you guys to kind of like vibe with our personalities as well. So we think that moving into this newer format, it'll allow for some more fun conversations and just a lot more entertaining content. Anything else you guys want to add on to that?
Nah, dude, I'm ready to talk about shit.
Yeah.
Awesome. So that being said, nothing is really changing about the show. YDN Cast is available in an audio-only format as well as this video as a video format, even though we're switching away from our webcam view if you're watching the YouTube version of this. So you can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and soon iHeartMedia, I believe. I'm working on that. Don't forget to visit our website, ydnerd.com. Follow Your Daily Nerd on all of our social media at ydnerd. And, of course, as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and every other YouTube buzzword on all of our videos. And, hey, if you're on iTunes, feel free to give us rate us, give us a little comment. That really, really helps with our visibility as far as building up our audience, and it would really mean the world to us. And, hey, if you write something nice about us, maybe we'll shout it out on the show. All right, so that's it for housekeeping. So, getting into weeks is going to be plural in this case because it's been since our E3 extravaganza that we have done a episode. So
We've just been on hiatus.
Has it really?
Yeah, it really has.
That's wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Austin, what have you been up to lately, man? What you been watching? What you been doing?
Okay, mostly, watching right now, BNHA, Boku no Hero Academia, Macadamia, however you want to refer to it.
Yes.
I've been watching that since the last couple episodes have aired. I've rewatched it in the English dub, which I've come to appreciate it.
It's not bad. Yeah, it's not that bad.
Like, I enjoy the voice acting in it.
I actually, this is going to make me, so So for those of you who don't know about me with anime, I'm kind of what I consider like a fair weather anime fan. I like the animes that I like, and they're most likely the mainstream animes. And because I'm even more of a casual than that, I watch the dubs because I like to be able to do multiple things while the show is on, like text or maybe get on my phone or something.
Ah, so you're one of those.
The only reason I really do sub over dub is because it's easier to fit like more accurate text into a subtitle because you're not worried about fitting a certain length of audio.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Some things get lost in translation.
But overall, like, especially nowadays, most anime have a decent dub. BNHA being one of those that has a pretty solid dub. It's got a great team of people working on it.
Definitely.
So,
I've finally been able
to watch it.
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I've been reading into the manga now. Like, I'm starting to catch up on that. I'm about at issue like 150 right now.
I am caught up and it's insane.
I'm sure it is. It's getting crazy right now. Like, Kyle, you should definitely look into the manga. Like, it's an easy read, a lot of great characters, and the progress is just so much quicker.
As spoilerously as possible, have you met Overhaul?
No, I'm not.
Okay, cool. You'll get there soon. That arc lasts for a long time.
Okay.
I really like that My Hero Academia. I need to get caught up on season 3.
It's real good. Definitely best season.
Yeah, they just got back from the mid-season break, so it's primal time to catch up.
Yeah, I'm watching it all on Hulu right now, and they only had the sub of season 3 on Hulu. So I've seen like the first few episodes of season 3, but I'm still pretty far behind.
Dude, have you heard of Verve?
Yeah, I have.
Dude, one of my roommates has it, and it's like the best thing to watch anime on. You get like Crunchyroll, you get Funimation, you get like
VRV?
yeah, it's called Verve.
I didn't know if there's pronunciation for it. I've just always seen it as VRV.
Yeah, well, it's great. It's like $10 a month.
Yeah,
like this is saying without a sponsor, it's pretty great.
It's absolutely worth it. Yeah, no sponsorship, but I mean, if you want
to sponsor us.
Dude, I went on a trip to Colorado recently, and like my phone has unlimited data, so me and my dudes in the car, we just turn on BNHA like while we're driving, and that made the trip so much easier.
Dude,
don't be like us.
We're bad influences.
Don't anime and
don't
drive.
let my insurance company hear that.
Don't anime and drive.
Dude, okay, but otherwise, I've been getting into Oblivion lately. Like, I finally sat down. I got a little tired of Skyrim, and I was just like, I'm gonna try Oblivion. It's backwards compatible now on the Xbox One. Like, I gave it a try. And dude, that game does not get enough credit it deserves. It's a very different...
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's very similar to Skyrim, but it does some things a little bit better. Like, you can roleplay better with with more freedom. And then the acrobatic skill, I love it. Like, I can jump on top of buildings, like, with ease with it. Like, playing a sneaky character is so much more satisfying.
I can agree with you on those points. I enjoyed playing sneak characters in Oblivion.
Yeah, and then, like, also the Mages Guild, the arena, like, there's so much more to do in Oblivion compared to Skyrim. Like, not trying to say Skyrim's a bad game, but, like, it was kind of shocking. It was like, as a analogy, I would probably say that Oblivion is like the Elder Scrolls' New Vegas.
Okay.
Like, it's a little dated, not as polished as Fallout 4. It does a lot of things right, though, and it's still a fun game. It looks dated as hell. My god, those character models. Like, yikes.
Did y'all see that Todd Howard quote about him saying, hey, if y'all are tired of Skyrim ports, stop buying them?
Sounds like something God Howard would say.
Yeah. Anything else for you, Bean?
I started giving Hyper Light Drifter a try again. Been playing through that.
That game's so bad.
How is it?
I really like it. It's difficult in its own right. And, like, not a lot of it is like through sheer difficulty of enemies. Like you have to plan out a lot of stuff in ahead because you only have so many resources given to you. But like the soundtrack is great, the visuals are really great. Like it's something like I can just turn out the lights and just play, and like I kind of just get like thrown into it. Also, PUBG is still broken on Xbox. Please fix Bluehole.
Wait, what's Bluehole?
That's the company that owns PUBG. Their port to the Xbox is terrible. Like, I don't know if you've seen anything on it, but it's still glitchy. Like, there was like 2 or 3 patches ago, it was fine, it was bearable, and now the game's broken again.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything since we lived together, and I knew it was pretty busted then.
Oh yeah, dude, it's still busted. Fortnite has such better dedicated servers, and it's a well-updated game.
The developers just seem to care more about Fortnite than PUBG's developers.
Oh yeah, Epic Games is a great company.
I feel like it also helps the fact that if, like Fortnite started off as a game with its own like assets first before it like decided to expand into that battle royale mode, whereas PUBG PUBG was originally a mod for Arma 3, right? So
you're thinking DayZ. It still stems from those games though.
Oh, okay.
Like it's nothing new. Like the Minecraft Hunger Games like started all of this.
Yeah, I thought they were all originally...
you wrote me into this.
Yeah, well, he wrote me into this.
You still have that meme in
our
Discord chat. I saw it whenever I was opening it up.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I was wondering what it was at first, but then before I clicked it, I was like, "Oh wait, yeah, that's what that is."
I saw the Meeseeks, and I was kind of like, "God damn
it!" All of those games were the same. Well, actually, I started playing another battle royale game. It was called the Darwin Project.
Yeah, the game is in preview on Xbox right now, right?
Yeah, it's free to download right now, and it's instead of like PUBG and Fortnite, there's not 100 players. There's 10 players, and then there's a game master. It kind of runs more of on a Hunger Games style, to where the game master can like give people resources, or they can fuck up the rest of the map. They can drop nukes. They can fill the entire area with lava. They can just ban the whole area in general. Like. And then as a player, you have to find resources to get different things. Like, to make more arrows, you have to cut down one tree. To get armor, you need wood and you need cloth. You can also find electronics throughout the map. The game master will set them around the map and decide to activate which one. And it's all about who gets the electronic first. And then depending on your class of that, you can have like different abilities. Like there's like a stealth class, there's a hunter class. And like a warrior class.
So, with it, is it like a case of when you queue into it, are you like choosing just like, hey, I want to play a game, or is it like, hey, I want to be a contestant in the game, or I want to be a game master, or is it just a random chance?
I just played like the quick play that was on there, and that sent me directly into like playing like in the game. I haven't been the game master yet in the game, but someone does control them. Like it's not an automated thing.
Right. I was just wondering if it was a case of like, if I decided, you know what, tonight I just want to play as the game master. I don't want to compete. I just want to try to see if I can fuck people up. Like if that was an option.
I honestly don't know the answer to that.
I feel like it would be. Austin, is that game you were playing when I stopped by the other day?
Yeah, it was,
okay.
Exactly.
Okay, I thought so. I just couldn't remember the name of it whenever you told me.
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty fun. The community kind of reminds me of Overwatch. Like, there's loot boxes and stuff, and like there's different skins, different cosmetics you can get. I think you can put money into the game, but what game can you not anymore?
At this point.
That's been pretty fun. I've been enjoying like free-for-all game types, and it was an interesting spin on the battle royale genre, because PUBG and Fortnite get very monotonous.
Yeah,
I can agree with that.
But other than that, I haven't really played much. Elder Scrolls has taken up most of my time, in all honesty.
True. I feel like that's for anybody who really gets invested in it.
Yeah.
If the Elder Scrolls doesn't take up most of your time, are you actually playing the Elder Scrolls?
True.
No.
True.
What do you do playing one quest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna level up this one skill by one stat today.
Just one more level. Come on.
No, just one more. What have I been up to this week? Well, I haven't really had a chance to play a whole lot of video games. I've been teaching band camps up in Shreveport-Bossier area, so that was fun. Yeah.
I've also been doing some of that.
Nice. Where at, if you don't mind?
Oh, I was at Buckeye High School, down with Michael King.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
I went to Hemp Hill, Texas, and I helped
cool.
trumpet section there. So that was some really cool experience.
Yeah, I worked with them whenever they were in Natchitoches for a couple days.
Kyle, I got to work with Jesmore.
Nice.
Yeah, dude.
He came to Natchitoches Thursday, Friday, and we worked with them there.
Oh,
so I've
dude.
been doing that. I worked with a high school in Benton, Louisiana for a week and a half. Pretty much what I've been up to as far as like nerd material wise. I've still been getting in my daily Pokemon Go, but like it's been a lot less than it was the last time we talked about it.
Yeah.
I've been reading a shitload of One Piece, and it's so good.
God, rest your soul.
I don't know why I haven't. Yeah, I don't know why I haven't started doing this earlier. It's incredible.
How much of it is there?
I was
Like, I
just
know
about
the
to ask
anime
that
is
same
a shit
question.
ton.
I can check the amount of chapters for you right now. Give me about 3 to 4 seconds.
Right
Let's
meow.
see. One
3,
Piece.
2,
Let me.
1.
There are 913 chapters of One Piece, and it is coming out weekly. An issue came out today.
Jesus Christ.
I'm at
That's
about-
a lot of mangoes.
I'm at about 260. It's really good. Like the world building is incredible. The art style is great. Mr. I think his name's Oda. He's a fantastic manga author. I don't know how he does what he does, but he's been writing One Piece for about 20-something years, just as good.
That's good shit.
Yeah, he has these little editorial things at the beginning of each volume, and he wrote one that made me smile a lot. Someone asked him what his inspiration was, and he was talking about how he and his team of writers will go out to eat at this, like, not really a fast food restaurant, but only like a quarter of a step past a fast food restaurant. Like, it's still greasy burgers, but you can sit down.
Like a Chipotle.
Kinda, yeah, but
But
there's a
with
lot of
burgers.
there's like TVs. It's a family restaurant, so there's like TVs and stuff there. And he was saying his inspiration is when he and his writers would go to get lunch there, and there would be a bunch of kids crowded around TVs watching One Piece. And he said that's what inspires him to keep writing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool. So yeah, no, I've been doing a lot of that. I need to catch up on the My Hero anime. I've just been so busy with band that I haven't been able to. I'm like 3 episodes behind. Let's see, game-wise, I've been playing some Smash again lately just to keep my dexterity up for when it comes out.
Which Smash? That's the question.
Smash 4.
Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of Brawl, and I don't have access to Melee anymore. Wait, yeah, I do. Why haven't I been doing that some?
I don't know. Why haven't you?
Well, alright.
Jinx!
I guess I could play some Melee. I played a couple games of Overwatch the other day for the first time, and it's fun. Wrecking Ball definitely adds a new dynamic to the game. It's totally different. You can't play the same way you used to.
I love Wrecking Ball so much.
He looks really fun, but I don't know if I want to learn how to play him.
I have been making myself because normally I'm a tank player on Overwatch, and normally I play Diva, but I'll load into Quick Play and somebody has like auto locked in as Diva, so I'm like, well, I guess I'm gonna play some Wrecking Ball. I'm just gonna teach myself. Like, you chose this fate, guys. You could have had me just wrecking shop as Diva, but
Doing what I'm good at.
But instead, you gotta get me jacking around for the next 20 minutes.
It's like anytime I load into a game and there's already 2 healers and one of them is Lucio. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm gonna be bad this round.
It's like that "Guess I'll Die" meme, except it'll be "Guess I'll DPS."
Select Reaper. Guess I'll just. But no, Overwatch is fun. I wish Blizzard would balance Brigitte. She's still incredibly overpowered.
Who is?
Brigitte.
Oh yeah.
Especially on the PC meta, she's absurdly good.
Yeah,
I
she is.
don't know how to play against her either. That might be part of it. I don't know.
That'll do it.
Yeah, Swank, did you ever consider the idea of just getting good?
You're absolutely correct. That's the only balance patch that's necessary skill.
I just want the next developer update to just be Jeff Kaplan sitting there with a clipboard that says "Get Good" on it.
And him just like stands up to give a speech. Stop being a little bitch.
And
Deal
get
with it.
good.
And then air horn, air horn, air horn, air horn.
And here to announce the next Skyrim port. That's about all I've really been up to. I've been watching some horror movies. That's another thing I've been doing. Have either of you place?
I'm sorry.
No, I've heard good things about that. Though.
A Quiet Place is without a doubt one of the best movies I've seen in a long time. Have either of y'all?
Mm-hmm.
It stars and is directed by John Krasinski, the guy that plays Jim.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
it's
I need to see it.
It's really, really good. Although, if you don't like reading subtitles, about 80% of the movie's in sign language.
That's okay. I like the first thing I do in every game, show, or movie I watch is turn on the subtitles. Doesn't matter if I'm the only
Shit
one there.
when I do that.
It's so nice to have subtitles. Like,
Yeah, I get a lot of shit when I do it. And I'm like, why?
I like to read.
I don't know, like
I don't
it
know.
helps me understand the material much quicker. Because sometimes,
Exactly.
like, you'll not hear something correctly. Or, like,
Exactly.
because of an accent, like, it sounds weird.
Exactly.
No, I agree. But yeah, A Quiet Place was really good. I saw The Autopsy of Jane Doe. That was also pretty fucked up. Oh, there were a couple other ones I watched recently. I just can't name them off the top of my head.
I am not really a horror person. I don't know what it is. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bitch when it comes to horror. Like,
Hey, that's okay. It's like spicy food. It's not for everyone. I just enjoy it.
yep. It's not. It's like spicy food. I'm too white for it.
Oh my gosh. I love one of my friends. He absolutely spicy food, like chicken chipotle loaded grillers from Taco Bell, make him hiccup.
Oh God.
Oh, no.
Wonderful. We got hot. You want some of my what's it called? The like the really spicy stuff they give you that you in case you want to put it on
Wasabi?
your sushi. Yeah, I was like, hey, you want this wasabi? And he like got up to get away from it. Good times.
Wasabi's not that bad.
yeah, no,
it has a kick to it, though.
It's a texture thing for me. I think it feels like I'm eating chalk.
That's completely fair.
But other than that, I don't know. A lot of horror movies, a lot of band camp.
A lot of horror movies, a lot of band camp. I feel like that should be the name of something. Don't know what it would be the name
What
of.
about
but
What about the episode?
I don't know. I still like Don't Anime and Drive.
On Anime and Drive, yeah. But yeah, that's all I've really been up to.
As for me, I've been getting very, 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 very deep into D&D. So obviously, if you're listening to the YDN Cast, you probably know that we have a D&D podcast as well called Your Daily Dungeon, that Swank and I are both on, and that I help produce. That's a lot of fun. And then I also play in a another session where so in the D&D podcast I play as a tiefling warlock, which is a hexblade warlock, which is a lot of fun. But in
Yeah,
the
it is.
in the other game that I play in, that's just this a little other friends, which is also DM'd by our DM for Your Daily Dungeon, Ian. I play as a lawful evil Goliath paladin named Vomon, and it's just so much. It's so different than playing as my warlock for the podcast. So it's just, there's just something stupidly awesome about running up to somebody and just doing like 40 points of damage in like one hit, and still knowing that I have another hit that I can put another divine smite into.
Paladins are so good in 5th edition.
Oh, they're so fun. I think I've decided that when I level up again, I'm gonna multi-class into Barbarian, just for the hell of it.
Oh, good God, as a Goliath? That's
Yes.
insane.
Yeah, just for the hell of it, and do that. I've been watching.
Wizards had no business making paladins that good.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're so fun. This is the first time I've ever played as a paladin. I've also been watching a lot of Critical Role recently. Do you guys watch that at all?
No.
Yeah, a little bit. I need to catch up on this campaign. I watched the first couple episodes of it.
Yeah, so if you don't know what Critical Role is, it's a D&D show that happens each week that is basically played by a bunch of famous voice actors. The actual the DM for the game is Matthew Mercer, famous voice actor. If you're a fan of Overwatch, he's the voice of McCree. He's also the voice of Crom from Fire Emblem.
He's the voice of Crom from Fire Emblem Awakening and the voice of Ryoma from Fire Emblem Fates. And if you've played Fire Emblem Fates, he also sings the end credits song.
Yeah, and there's a lot of other really like big name voice actors in there, like Liam O'Brien, who is the voice of Illidan from World of Warcraft, is in there. And it's just like they've been basically, the way that it kind of started off is that this was just like a home game that they all play. Like Laura Bailey is in there, Ashley Johnson. They all play in the same game. It started off as a home game that they basically played. They'd play a session of it like once a month when they had the time to, and it was just a lot of fun. People were seeing Snapchats of it, and then Felicia Day approached them and was like, "Hey, how would you like to make your D&D game one of our shows over here on Geek and Sundry?" And Matt Mercer was like, "Yeah, sure, but I don't know how much people are going to enjoy actually watching us play D&D on camera." And guess what? Turns out a lot of people really enjoy watching them play D&D on camera.
Yeah, I was about to say, Critical Role is now really popular.
Exactly. It's their first campaign was insanely good. The characters that are there still, like, people draw fan art of them, and the characters in campaign 2 are very good too. It's just like they had like 114 episodes of campaign 1, each one episode being like 3 or 4 hours long, and like
it was a lot.
Yeah, they played as those characters for a long time. But yeah, there's been some really crazy stuff that has happened on Critical Role the past couple weeks. I don't want to get too into it, I guess, because Swank, if you're trying to, how far did you get into campaign 2?
I only watched like the first episode, but I'm probably gonna start watching more soon now that I'm not doing band camps.
It's very good. I think they've done 28 episodes, 29 episodes including this week.
Oh, good.
Yeah. There's some insane shit that happens on there. I'm trying out a test trial of Project Alpha, which is like the premium service for Geek and Sundry, just so I can like watch some of their other content and they have like a really like interesting like overlay that they use for Critical Role for their premium subscribers, like keeping up to date on like what people's health situation is in combat on there is one of their things. Having some flavor text letting you know like like just like some different situations about what's going on. Like they were talking about the idea of like transforming one of what the wizard of the group. His name is Caleb, and he has a familiar that's a cat, and he can perform a spell that lets him transform the cat into other animals. And he was talking about the possibility of transforming his cat Frumpkin into a spider to let him like crawl into like little tiny places. And they just like while they were talking about that, some flavor text pulled up on the side that was basically like, a spider can move 20 feet and has a climbing speed of 20 feet. It was like, oh, thank you. That's a neat thing to have on there. They also have a few, if you're interested to kind of like get a little bit more into D&D, if you've never watched anything D&D related, they have Celebra D&D on there, where basically they have celebrities on there to play Dungeons and Dragons. Some who have never played before, some who are veterans of the game. One of my favorites is up on YouTube, and it's fairly short, only like about 30 minutes, is D and Diesel, where they had Vin Diesel on there.
Oh my gosh.
Vin Diesel apparently used to play a lot of D&D, like, back in his day.
Yeah, he did.
I'd believe it.
And he's super unashamed of it. Like, you know, a lot of celebrities, oh, yeah, I tried it once or twice back in the day. You know, he loves talking about it.
Yeah. Huh. Joe Manganiello is a very big D&D player as well.
He mentioned something about how he regrets not having more time to play now that he's axed so much, Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know you'd wanted to get that out there real quick.
No, yeah. But they recently put up a new Celebra D&D, and it's like sponsored by World of Warcraft, the Battle for Azeroth like DLC that's coming out. And so Matt Mercer like basically like adapted some of the existing D&D rules and classes to fit Warcraft, and they had a basically a one shot where of Horde versus Alliance kind of thing, where
that's really cool.
Yeah, basically the main celebrity that was on there was Terry Crews.
Oh, that's awesome! I need to watch.
Yeah, he's the captain of the Horde group, and then the captain of the Alliance group is actually Troy Baker.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, both Troy and Terry had never played before. But yeah,
you know, that's kind of surprising. I had taken Terry Crews for a D&D nerd.
No, but I mean, you could tell that he fucking loved it, though. Watching his eyes light up while he was playing and using like problem-solving skills when like facing different situations. So good. It is very, very good. I highly recommend watching the Celebra D&D with Terry Crews. It's about 2.5 hours. It's probably I think it's the longest of the Celebra D&Ds, but it is.
I mean, it's Terry Crews, so like
it's very good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give that a watch.
I would have to as well.
As far as other D&D stuff for me goes, I'm supposed to be DMing my first ever game soon.
Oh, awesome!
So that'll be fun.
Who are you playing with?
It's a one shot with a bunch of my coworkers they've all never played D&D before. So it's going to be me teaching a bunch of newbies how to play. So it's gonna be fun. It's just a one shot. My hope is that if it goes well, then maybe we'll be able to do it as a regular game. But yeah, so that's it for me as far as D&D stuff. As far as games go, let's see. I've been playing a shit ton of Octopath Traveler. That's been the big game that I've been playing recently, probably. That game is very good. That is a JRPG ass JRPG. That game, I'm about 12 hours in, and that game expects you to grind. Like, I went to go try to do a story mission where like the recommended like level for it was like 22, and my highest character's levels was like 19, but I was like, okay, I'm a few levels below this, but it should be fine, right?
It's like, I got a shot at this.
Sometimes RPGs do that where they're like, hey, the recommended level for this is a few levels higher than what you're at right now. And so I thought, okay, I could handle this. And so I got to the boss of that like story mission, and man, it is kicking my ass. I am not high enough level, like, at all. It's like so it's basically on the thief's storyline. It's like the second story mission. You go and to fight this guy, and the way that the combat works for it is, it's like this boss has 2 lackeys that are fighting alongside him, but they're protecting him at the same time. So you can't do any damage to the boss until you kill his 2 lackeys, which his lackeys have like a shit ton of HP. So by the time I killed his 2 lackeys, I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, maybe it's a case of like his lackeys have a lot of health, but once I start attacking him, he'll just die within a couple of hits. So that would make sense to me in game design. Like you give his henchman a lot of health, and you can't attack him until you kill his henchman. So I kill his henchman. It takes a lot out of me to do it. I've expended most of my resources to get to him, but I've built up enough traction that I'm able to start doing my big hits against the boss, and I'm like dealing damage. I'm doing like 1,600 damage. Like, these are like my max, like my most hardest hitting moves that I can do. Like 1,600 point hits in one turn.
It doesn't fucking phase him, does it?
So Cyrus, the scholar character, has an ability that you can use called Analyze. It reveals a weakness of the enemy that you're analyzing, and it tells you how much health they have. So I'm thinking, alright, I need to spend my turn analyzing this boss to see how much health he has left. I was thinking that this guy had probably like no health, like, when I fought him, but like he starts off with like 30,000 health. And I'm doing my maxed out moves that are doing like 1,600 damage to him. These are like my, like, these would normally be like my coup de grace, like finish him, like style, like Mortal Kombat finishers, and they're doing like not even a 30th, like a 30th of his health.
Ooh, that sounds like a hard time.
So yeah, it's needless to say, after I the first time I fought him, I died really quickly, and I was like, okay, let me try this again, a little bit more strategically. I think I fought him for like, I was in there for like a good 30 minutes at least straight. And this is just like traditional turn-based JRPG combat. Like, it's nothing fancy. If you've played like an old school like Final Fantasy game, you know what I'm talking about, And I died like after fighting him for 30 minutes, and I was just like, I'm gonna put this down for a few days.
That's
and
like,
it's been about a week now.
Yeah, that's like, there's some bosses in Super Mario RPG that just have an absurd amount of health. It's ridiculous, truly.
Like, I love the game to death, and I plan on going back to it and kind of going back and grinding a little bit more to like level up my guys, but it demoralized me, man. I was like, I need a break. Like,
there's only so many times you can get sodomized by the same boss before you just, nope, I'm good.
Fuck, man. I've played a few other things. Played a shit ton of Fortnite, honestly, and that game is fun, but only in like small doses. I understand the hype behind it, but I'm kind of tired of the hype of it. Like, I enjoy it. I understand why people love it so much, but it's kind of just like, I'm getting fatigued of it, if that makes sense. Like, so, like, I don't know if you guys have seen, like, on Snapchat, you can go on there And one of the things that you can subscribe to is IGN's Snapchat feed, where it gives you like a bunch of like news stories and
Oh yeah, it's just a bunch of Fortnite videos, right?
yeah, like dude, every single fucking day. So you can like just like pass over the IGN thing, and it'll basically give you like what the top story is of that day.
Oh, I always see Fortnite gameplay on there, and I hate it.
The past week of it has been what Ninja's ideal Fortnite setup is. What kind of changes that Ninja thinks needs to be come to Fortnite, and it's like, dude, like IGN, like I like you guys a lot, and I understand that Fortnite gets you views, but come on, like you guys are like there's a lot more to talk about gaming wise than just what Ninja thinks about this little thing in Fortnite, you know?
Yeah. These games just have such a big community on them, but that's not what all games are about. So
Right.
everyone's just getting what gets you views.
Right, and I mean, like that's the thing is that it's like I feel like the people who are looking at the IGN feed on their Snapchat are not the people who are, for the most part, are not the people who are just like the only game I play is Fortnite. You know, to me anyway. That's maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I know that I saw like that a good portion of like traffic that comes to gaming websites these days is Fortnite stuff, and I understand how popular it is right now. It just gets so tiring looking at the same shit day after day about like, oh, look at these kids doing Fortnite dances. Hey, did you hear that people are hiring tutors for their kids to learn how to play Fortnite?
Did you see the tweet where it was just like, independent developers, please pay $10 for our games,
Yeah,
and then it was like a retweet of people paying $20 an hour.
Yeah, I think I sent that in the group chat that we're in, where it's just like it was, it's this new story about people paying $20 an hour for tutors for their kids to teach them how to play Fortnite well, and Devolver Digital has quote retweeted it and put, "Please just pay $10 for our games."
It's such a honestly kind of a saddening point that we're at, where people will pay $20 an hour to teach their kids to be good at Fortnite. Like, just tell your kids to get good, damn it. Like,
Yeah, dude. There's no other way.
fucking YouTube tutorials. That's how I get good at things that I'm bad at. I watch people that are good at it do it for free.
Just get the Victor Royale your damn self. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is that like I have found that like something that has improved my game as far as playing Fortnite goes is, I mean, we live in a world where Twitch is a thing, you know? You can go on there and you can watch Ninja or Dr. Lupo or Tim the Tatman or somebody on Fortnite playing the game who's really, really good. You can go on there and watch them and be like, okay, what are they doing that I'm not doing? And obviously this is coming from a 23-year-old who has like reasoning skills, cognitive reasoning, and can look and see, okay, well, I'm not doing that, and let me try doing that and see if it improves my game, you know, in comparison to kids, I guess, who are getting tutored on how to play Fortnite.
Like, shit, I'll learn how to play Fortnite to get $20 an hour.
Fucking right.
I just taught private lessons in a field that I've been studying in for going on 5 years of college and 4 years of high school, and I got paid $30 an hour. Like, I would just $20 an hour to play video games? Okay, I'll get good at that video game.
Get good. When in doubt, get good.
Just kidding. I'm trash at Fortnite.
Is it really an accomplishment to be good at Fortnite?
Yeah, I mean, I would say so.
I don't know. When you're as good,
when you watch those guys play, they are ridiculous watching the types of like how good they are at landing like no scope like sniper shots from like halfway across the map. Like, and it's not like they're just like bullshitting their way through it. Like, they are legitimately outbuilding their opponents. They are like learning. You can tell that they are being smart with what they're doing. They aren't just bullshitting their way through it. And it's impressive to watch them play. It's just I'm just getting tired of watching them play because it's all that everybody ever talks about.
Yeah. And there's just much better games out there. Or there's other games out there.
Right.
That are also fun to get.
That's my thing. Is that like Fortnite Battle Royale is very fun. And I don't want to knock against anybody who enjoys playing the game. I enjoy playing the game. But like you said perfectly just now, there are other games to talk about that are really good, that are also really good.
Oh, I totally agree with you.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much me for the past couple of weeks. Just trying to get used to living on my own and living in this place, and yeah. So
all right. So what was our first story for the week?
So our first story for this week.
This Madden 19 bullshit. Yeah,
this is some weird shit. So EA censored Colin Kaepernick's name in Madden 19.
It's like it's in a soundtrack. Like, it's his name that's mentioned in Big Bank by YG featuring 2 Chainz, Big Sean, and Nicki Minaj. There's a lyric that says, "You boys all cap, I'm more Colin Kaepernick." Like, I don't know. They blocked out that lyric, but still have him in the song.
Yeah. So here's the official like response from EA about it. We made an unfortunate mistake with our Madden NFL soundtrack. Members of our team misunderstood the fact that while we don't have rights to include Colin Kaepernick in the game, this doesn't affect soundtracks. We messed up, and the edit should never have happened. We will make it right with an update to Madden NFL 19 on August 6th that will include the reference again. We meant no disrespect, and we apologize to Colin, to YG, and Big Sean, to the NFL, to all of their fans, and our players for this mistake.
Oh, okay, well.
Yeah, that sounds like a sincere enough statement.
I just think I understand it being a mistake, and you know I agree it's a sincere statement. It's just like, man, that's a pretty weird mistake to happen to get shipped out on a final game, you know.
Well, I'm sure someone who was organizing music, like, he probably knew it was a taboo subject, just kind of in general, and he or she probably assumed to just go ahead and do it, or they had both files saved and one just got put in for the other. Yeah, I don't know, they could have been playing it safe, but now that like people actually care about that, like, I don't know, it's a good thing that they're fixing it. Like, EA is starting to own up on the stuff that they do.
Yeah,
it's issue therein just that they still fuck up on.
Yeah. That's just such a weird fucking thing.
Right, I agree with you.
I don't know, man. That's just one of those weird stories.
That's just a theory.
Okay. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Next story. San Diego Comic-Con was last week before, but regardless of when it was, we got our first looks at Aquaman and Shazam. Do you guys watch these trailers?
Yeah, dude, I saw the trailers. I'm actually really hyped for this.
Yeah, I mean, making a trailer is an art form, you know. There have been many trailers that I have seen for movies that got me real hyped, and then I saw it and I was like, oh, that's disappointing. I'm really hoping for Aquaman and Shazam to be really good. Anybody who knows me, I am a huge DC fanboy, and these movies look fucking awesome. I especially loved watching Black Manta just fucking laser through all that shit in the Aquaman trailer. I love Black Manta so much. I'm just... The DC Extended Universe has got me real nervous these days.
Like, I'm sure it's gonna be fine, but just because it's DC, I am a little apprehensive because they've been known to fuck up. Like, I'm sure it's gonna be good, but I don't want to
You don't want to
express hype
assume
for
that
it.
it's going to be good.
Yeah.
I finally saw Justice League, by the way.
Oh yeah, what do you think?
I have not yet.
I thought it was aggressively mediocre.
Well, that's saying something.
That's the first time I've heard those two words used together that way, and I approve.
That's kind of the general vibe I've been getting from it.
It was
See,
like,
now that I've heard those terms, I can kind of say that's how I felt about BVS.
yeah,
Yeah, I would also agree with
And
that.
granted, let me start that off by saying I am a fan of BVS. I don't think it's a bad movie. I think it's a good movie, but it is kind of mediocre.
I don't think it ranks as well as like Man of Steel.
Oh yeah, no, Man of Steel is definitely the best DC movie I've ever seen, like live action one.
Really?
I would say
Well-
Wonder Woman is better.
Yeah, true. Wonder Woman was really
I don't know,
Good.
like the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah, I was
like,
about to
all of
say,
those
are we
movies
talking
are
about we talking about the current DC cinematic universe, or are we talking about like overall DC movies? Because it's hard to beat Dark Knight, the
I don't know.
Dark Knight trilogy.
It's a very broad.
yeah, no,
Okay.
current DC universe. No offense to the Dark Knight trilogy, it's really good and definitely the better movies.
Okay, because I was about to say this conversation could also involve the animated movies like Justice League Dark,
Yeah.
Justice League versus Teen Titans.
Okay, no, the animated movies are always going to be superior.
Yeah, dude. Like I'm excited. Like I get
think
excited
the
whenever I see
DCA
it.
I think the DCAU is better than the Marvel Cinematic, personally.
Oh, I'd agree with you. Like they can pull stuff straight from the novels, and
True.
and they pick a lot of the stories that that are fan favorites. Like Hush for Batman is coming out.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited for. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot more freedom they can do with the characters because it is a cartoon.
Yeah. And like they can animate things that people can't physically do regardless of how good the stunt double is.
Yeah, exactly.
True. While we're on the
Shazam looks fun though.
Yeah, Shazam does look fun.
It's it's definitely going to be this universe's Ant-Man kind of film, to where
Yeah.
it's lighthearted. But that's kind of Shazam in general.
True. While we're on the subject of like superhero stuff, have you guys been like keeping up with the trailers for Venom?
Oh, dude, I saw the recent one.
No.
Oh, that full body shot Venom. It's just dope. I'm excited for the film now. Like, it really shows off the personalities between Tom Hardy's character and the symbiote.
Oh yeah, between Venom and Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's another one that I'm hoping will be good because it looks like it could be pretty cool.
I mean, Tom Hardy's in it. Like, I'm gonna like anything with Tom Hardy in it.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Tom Hardy's an incredible actor.
It's like, this is a fact.
A lot
Yeah,
of people didn't like
it's
his
not an
portrayal of
opinion.
Bane. I liked it.
I liked it.
It's not traditional Bane,
Yeah.
like,
I
by
have my
any means.
issues. I have my issues with the Dark Knight trilogy, and if you want me to make a special and rant about the Dark Knight trilogy,
Oh, dude, we could make a whole special just talking about the Night Trilogy.
because I think it's very good, but at the same time, I feel like they're some of the most overrated movies that exist.
Fair.
Because they're good. They're all at least like 8s out of 10, but like everyone makes them out to be 11s, and I don't think any of them are.
Well, I think it's what like the average moviegoer would say is a great film.
Yeah, no, they are great films. It's the same way I feel about Deadpool. Deadpool and a half out of 10, but it was not the 12 everyone hyped it up to be.
Yeah.
That's just how, I don't know.
You can't always live up to people's hype for
Yeah.
those kind of movies, because some people are going to be really into it. It's kind of like the new Star Wars. Like you're either into it or you're not. Hype's
still
just
need
going
to
to go like either way.
See Solo.
Oh, dude, Solo's a good film. Like if you
Yeah, I
watch the
still need to
Clone
see it.
Wars, like there's some stuff in there that you'll appreciate a bit more, and it kind of connects everything together.
Nice. Yeah, I need to see Solo and whenever Clone Wars.
Oh, dude, the Clone Wars trailer. Have y'all seen that?
No, not yet.
No, I have not.
Dude, the season 7 trailer. Oh, and I'm so excited. If you haven't seen the Clone, it's definitely worth the watch. I would start in like middle of season 3. Look for the episodes that look interesting, because it is kind of a kid's show. So like, especially in the beginning, it drags on, but it grows up with its audience.
True.
And
I keep on remembering things that happened to me. I saw Incredibles 2 recently, also.
I'm behind on my movies. I need to see that. Like,
how is
yesterday.
it? Like, I've heard, oh, it's really good, and it's like, oh, like I hadn't heard like, oh, it's better than the original. Like everyone talked about it for like a week.
It does a great job of iterating on the existing Incredibles movie without being just another one of those. It does a very great job, I think, of complementing the first Incredibles movie. Like, I don't think it's
while still being its own movie.
Exactly. It's very good.
Oh, that's a textbook sequel right there. That sounds pretty good.
Well, like, my issue with a lot of modern sequels is that they kind of just end up being, oh, hey, remember that thing we did in the first movie?
The Force Awakens. Cough, cough, cough.
Yeah. That's
I
a
remember,
perfect.
You remember?
I remember.
Or, like, as good of a movie as Finding Dory was, it had a lot of, like, hey, remember Finding Nemo? In it.
Yeah.
I don't know, so I hope The Incredibles 2 is good. I've heard nothing but great things about it myself because I'm a degenerate.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be so harsh on yourself, dude.
There are other reasons. There are other reasons why I'm a degenerate. It's okay.
I can
find out on our next special.
What'd you say, Austin?
Find out on our next special.
Nick Swank.
Yeah.
Hero or menace?
Give me pictures of Nick Swank.
I'll give my rant about The Dark Knight, and then I'll also talk about why I'm a piece of shit at the same time.
Give me pictures of Swanker Man.
It'll be good. We'll have a few laughs. What is that from? Oh yeah, that's
Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Yeah.
Come out to the coast. We'll have a few laughs.
Moving on to our next news story. Swank, tell me what's going on with Overwatch League.
Huh?
Tell me what's going on with Overwatch League in our next story.
Dude, okay, we're getting new teams.
Yeah, dude.
That's like, what, Atlanta's getting one, and where's the other one?
It's in China.
China? Yeah.
I'm gonna butcher the name for it if I try and say.
Is it Guangzhou?
No.
Guangzhou.
Alright, I mean, if we butcher that, sucks, but cool. Like, I'm excited to see this league grow.
Definitely.
Like, I'm interested to see how they're going to change the bracket. I mean, adding 2 teams, thus going to extend the tournament.
Yeah, Overwatch League said that we know that they have deeply engaged fan communities, and we can't wait to unveil their teams. So they haven't put out team names, logos, or rosters for the new franchises. They also said that...
I like that...
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I like that the Chinese team is also owned by the same company that owns the basketball team in China.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, equating sports and esports. Because I guess they would have a similar following.
True.
Yeah.
I know that there's rumors going around that they might be adding a Paris team as well.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
That would be awesome.
Overwatch is a great way to get the international, like, Like it's an international hit of a game, so like most countries will have a competition of some point or of some kind.
True. Yeah, I'm looking forward to next season now that season 1 has ended. Although they did some great stuff, I am looking forward to see what changes that, if any, they make between now and season 2. I don't know how long this off season is supposed to be, or like when the season is supposed to start back up. But also, congratulations to the London Spitfire for winning.
Oh yeah, dude. They were killing
Yeah,
it
they
throughout
did.
the tournament.
Dude, Profit is ridiculous.
Of course, like he's too good.
Too good. GG.
Like, I can't even begin to describe how talented of an Overwatch player he is.
True. Austin,
What's up?
tell me about Henry Cavill's mustache.
Okay, so he had to grow it out. Mission Impossible Fallout movie, because he was the villain in that. I hadn't seen the movie. I've heard it's pretty good. But
I want to see him as a villain, so let's do it.
yeah, it's cool to see him as not like a all powerful hero kind of position.
Literally the good of the DC universe.
Yeah, but like his performance in like The Man from Uncle was really good.
Yes.
That's another topic. So for his Mission Impossible Fallout, he had to grow a mustache, or like he grew a mustache for the part. Well, for his reappearance in Justice League, like he was already growing out the mustache for the role, and he couldn't just shave it. So the animators had to like digitally take out the mustache, and apparently there are some scenes to where like you can tell like his face is a little off.
You can see where they digitally removed his mustache.
That should be the thumbnail for this video.
Oh, it's so good.
But yeah, that was like it could have been like a $3 million problem due to like editing and reshooting and whatnot. Like that's some pretty crazy stuff.
Absurd. Just let Superman have a mustache, damn it.
I want Superman to be an old 70s cop.
Yeah,
Nobody complained about Captain America's beard.
Okay, that Chris Evans' beard was glorious, in my opinion.
Yeah, but like Captain
a
America's
man.
always been that clean shaven. Captain America's, it's Marvel's lawful good.
Yeah.
Like,
I get your point. But he's just been on
Infinity War, he had
hiatus.
facial hair. Yeah, but why not let Superman have facial hair? Just
Yeah, dude.
it's about
So stupid. That is one of my that's one of the stupidest things that I feel like I've ever heard about a movie, is just like the idea of just like, yeah, let me throw some money at this and just digitally remove Superman's mustache.
Apparently, like, facial hair can be problematic in the media industry, because some roles will want you to have a clean shave or like some sort of facial hair, but another role will require for another. Have y'all both seen The Room?
I have not.
I have, but it's
Okay.
not been a recent thing.
There's this point where like, okay, this is a really dumb analogy, but it's kind of along the same premise. There's a character, Mark. He has a beard throughout the whole thing, but then like there's this whole surprise towards the end where he becomes like clean shaven, and apparently like the director and him had beef, and he made him like shave his beard because he got another role, and he needed the beard for the other role.
That's so dumb.
If you should see The Room or see The Disaster Artist.
Yeah, I've heard good things. I know I need to see it.
I've heard great things about the Disaster Artist.
It's way better if you've seen The Room.
Fair enough.
Because you got to suffer through The Room first to truly understand it.
True. Hey, so guess what? Elon Musk is gonna put an Atari in your Tesla.
Yeah, like they're gonna have it as like
Atari in
Easter
my
eggs.
Tesla. You got a Tesla in my Atari.
Way to
Well, I mean-
introduce that story. Good guy Elon Musk.
You know, he's
Dude, what else
so
are you gonna
good.
do on that autopilot?
It's just fucking. There's nothing really else to go with this story. It's just like Elon being like, "Hey, there's an agreement with Atari to put some classic Atari games into the Tesla's infotainment system as Easter eggs."
Yeah, like they have this huge display like in the cars, and they're like super interactive. They're like, well, they're kind of like iPads or some kind of stuff, but like different kind of software, Tesla software. And so they're just gonna add like Easter eggs of like games into there, which is kind of neat. Like, what are you gonna do on autopilot, kind of thing. But it could also become like a big distraction. So I don't know, man. It's weird. Technology's weird.
How are you gonna control it? Are you gonna use the wheels, or like the steering wheel, or?
Dude, yeah. What if they have like they convert the steering wheel into a controller as well, so you have portable consoles.
So my question is if the game that they put on there is that old ET game, does that mean that we have to bury all the Teslas?
Eventually, man.
That's
we all get buried eventually.
Wow, that was dark. Thanks, Austin.
You're welcome.
Everything gets buried eventually.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, so go buy a Tesla and play some Atari? Question mark?
Step 1, afford a Tesla.
Step 2, play old shitty Atari games on there.
Step 3, profit.
Alright, so that's it for news this week. We're trying to keep it a little bit more varied up with news stories. Kind of make sure that we're not just sticking to just video game stuff, but just nerd shit in general. So now we're going to move into our final segment of this week's episode, new segment rather than the rotating segment that we had been doing. This is a little segment I'm calling article analysis, where we pick a different news article that probably has a little bit more of like an in-depth kind of conversation to go behind it, where we read it and then just have an in-depth conversation about it rather than just kind of going with a random topic like we used to in the other episodes. For this week's article, we went with How Often Do You Reroll in Games by Danielle Riendo over at waypoint.vice.com. If you don't look at Waypoint at all, I highly suggest checking them out. They have a lot of really great think pieces about video games and things like that. So the way I'm going to read a little bit of this article out loud, so that way people who have not read it can kind of get the gist of what we're talking about. So again, this article is called "How Often Do You Reroll in Games?" And Danielle has this to say in her article. I'm currently on my 4th start of No Man's Sky after a hilarious series of failures that almost left me dropping off the game again. This one, though, is going to stick. I have a storied history with the game. Back at launch, I played something like 30 hours. I disliked the early game, but got through it, and enjoyed my next 10 or so hours of exploring planets pretty aimlessly. I got very lucky with one rad dinosaur planet that inspired this video below, and all I really wanted was a game that was essentially 70s sci-fi Pokemon Snap. But I fell off really hard when I just felt like I was on an endless treadmill and got a little depressed with it. When No Man's Sky next hit last week, I was excited. This was my chance, after all, to rekindle my long-lost love of the chill exploration game I pined for, and sort of almost got with the first iteration. I loaded up a new save, my original game was Lost to Time and a breakup, and started upon a new journey. This was No Man's Sky Take 2, and I was ready. After getting through most of an early planet, I had the gnawing feeling that this all looked exactly like the launch game. Wasn't next supposed to look different? Wasn't I supposed to be able to choose between third and first-person perspectives? After a tiny bit of digging, I discovered that Next was still downloading in the background. My first hour with the game in 2 years was with the vanilla version.
Oof.
Soon, the download updated, and Next was my destination. I picked the normal mode and settled in for an evening of exploration and mining. No Man's Sky Take 3. The first planet was heavily irradiated, and I quickly hightailed it to the next planet in the system, ignoring the gentle tutorialization in the lower right corner of the screen. I've done this before, game. I'm a veteran explorer. Radiation? Pah! I got enough fuel to power my little X-Wing wannabe and land on the next world in my little system. The plan was to get in, find enough stuff to construct a warp cell so I could get wherever I wanted and get out. Well, this one had firestorms. I died something like five times within the span of 30 minutes before I decided to do a reroll, to cut my losses and just start the whole thing up again. No Man's Sky, Take 4. Another toxic world. By this point, I had been clued in that every starter world is hazardous with the express purpose of teaching you how to survive the space wilderness, and so I actually paid attention to the tutorials. Within an hour, I was tooling around the system, visiting new planets and starships, and generally doing the things I actually wanted to do in the game. I started appreciating the key differences in Next: the prettier graphics, the more densely populated spaceships and trading ports, the missions. The whole thing has me thinking about the concept of the reroll in games. I do it all the time in Into the Breach, 520 hours in. If I don't like what I see on my first island, bugs got me down, abandoned timeline, baby. So that's the end of the article right there. I guess I ended up reading all of it instead of just a portion of it like I thought I wanted to. So, I basically kind of wanted to get into the conversation of how often do you guys re-roll in games? Like, you know, do you... Like, what is there a standard that you guys hold before deciding, no, let's just fucking start over?
I think, I would say it depends on the game, first of all. Like, No Man's Sky, with the amount of, like, exploration it is, there's not, like, a whole lot of, like, story right off the bat.
Right.
So, like, if you get a crappy start, you can just go on and find another place. And I feel like there's other games like that. But... I don't know, like, since I've been playing a lot of Elder Scrolls, I guess, like, the closest thing I would do to re-rolling is, like, say if I start a character but I don't like the build I'm going to, like, I'll probably go back to a previous save. Or, like, if I go down to a dungeon, realize it's too much out of my skill level, and like, I've lost, like, a lot of my supplies, went down, like, on all of my equipment, I just load out at the beginning of the cave, just so... kind of like getting back from that bad decision. And I feel like it's an okay way to play. Like, it's not wrong.
Yeah, like, I don't really do it a lot necessarily, but I see the purposes behind it.
It's like if you get stuck in a crappy situation, like, you can restart the game, you can go back to a previous save, and you can try better from then.
Definitely. I've had a few games where, like, my like condition for restarting and re-rolling with games, honestly, is basically what genre of game is it and how much time has passed since the last time I played. If it's an RPG and more than a month has gone by, I'm basically restarting, because especially with...
Yeah, I can agree with.
Because for me, it's mostly like especially if it's like a really in-depth RPG, I'm like, I don't remember who that is. I don't remember what I'm doing. I don't know where I got this. I might as well start over. But
that was my first playthrough with Oblivion.
There are some games that there are a few games that fall into those conditions that I still will not restart, just because, like, or I've tried to restart and I just can't do it. And it's like Skyrim, for example. I originally played like at least 500 hours of Skyrim on Xbox 360, and I think about getting back into Skyrim every now and then, like with Special Edition. Like, my cousin just picked up Special Edition on his Xbox, and we have Game Share, so it downloaded onto my Xbox as well. So I was like, man, I should get back into Skyrim. And then I thought to myself, I was like, man, I can't do it again. I can't make myself put all that time and effort into there like I used to, like I did back in the
dude,
day.
Skyrim with mods.
I can't. I don't know what it is, man. It's just like, it's like a, man, I've done this all before. Even with the mods, I'm just like, I've done this, you know.
I mean, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, I can kind of understand that. There's some games that I can't, like, I don't know. I don't necessarily re-roll a whole lot unless, like you're saying, been over, and I don't shit, yeah, I'll restart. But the only time in like recent history that I can think of where I just played a game and I wasn't in a good spot and I just said, fuck it, let's redo this. Shin Megami Tensei 4, I started off very poorly, had no idea what I was doing, and basically got to the point where I couldn't get past a fight because I had no more healing items, and I could not get more healing items in the fight. So I told the game to fuck itself.
That's also how my first playthrough of Hyper Light Drift went. I got like stuck in an area I couldn't get out of because the enemies were too strong. I had too little health. I was like, there's no way I'm getting out of this. So I just restarted the game.
Yeah.
But in general, I try not to unless I just don't remember what was going on or it's literally impossible. Like, I'll try to make the best out of a hard situation as much as I can.
Yeah, I remember playing a game on my PlayStation 2, and it's been a long time, and I believe the name of it was a JRPG called Radiata Nights, I think is what the name of it was. And I remember, I don't think besides Pokemon, I hadn't really played a JRPG, like, at that point. And so I got to a point where I was very underleveled for the fight I was at, but there was nothing else I could do. I could not leave what I was doing at that point. And so I had to have died at least 50 times in that fight. But I eventually powered through and managed to like find a way to win in that fight. Because I was like, I will be damned if I start over at this point.
Well, I don't know if this counts as a reroll, but something I was thinking about. Whenever I play JRPGs, I generally try to get everything. And I was playing Golden Sun Dark Dawn for the Nintendo DS, and I missed one of the support summons, and I looked online to see where I could get it, and realized I had just passed a point of no return in the game, where I couldn't go back to a previous area at all, ever.
No, oof.
And that's where it was. So I restarted about 25 hours of gameplay. Because I'm a perfectionist, and if I had seen 99% completion, I would have broken my DS. So I restarted and cried a little bit, but it was okay.
Did you ever beat it?
Yeah, I 100% of that game.
Dope.
I love the Golden Sun franchise. It's one of the more underrated IPs, in my opinion.
True. Yeah, you have told me this multiple times.
I am very passionate about Golden Sun. I think it's a fantastic game series.
Eventually, I'll try it.
Eventually. We're not going to get an ending to it, though, which sucks because 3 had a major cliffhanger that we've been waiting to resolve all series. And then Camelot was like, well, I don't have enough support for a 4th one. I hope you aren't invested in this plot.
Oh, sorry.
You're like, who, me? No, not at all.
And, like, there's still hope because Golden Sun 2 came out in, like, 01, and Golden Sun 3 came out in 2010. So, like, there's still hope. It's just getting
It may not be
close to that. Yeah, we're not getting it point.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, let us know in the comment section as to what your beliefs are on re-rolling or restarting your games, and maybe we'll respond to it and shout it on the next episode of the podcast. I think that's going to do it for this week's episode of the YDN Cast. I am very happy with how this went, and I like how this vibe feels in comparison to how we were doing it. Not that I didn't like the way that we were doing it before. I think this is a good approach to how we're doing this.
Make YDN great again.
Yes, exactly. I'm glad to be back at it again with the YDN Cast. There's my outro.
Are you insinuating that the YDN Cast was ever not great, Austin?
True.
I'm saying to make it more great than what it is. So greater.
Nice recovery.
Swank and Austin, thank you, of course, for being here on this.
Happy to be here, like
Of course,
always.
dude.
Don't forget to go follow us over on our social media, both on Twitter and Instagram at YDNerd. Subscribe to the podcast feed in your your podcasting platform of choice. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, leave a review for us. We really appreciate that. Let us know how we're doing. I think that's going to do it for this week's episode of the YDN Cast. Until next time, we'll see you next time.
Catch ya.
Bye, guys.